Persona 3 Reload is a deep JRPG with lots of characters to talk to, dungeon levels to explore, and battles to fight. But there are a lot of pointers or things the game never really explains to you. After a brief tutorial, Persona 3 Reload kinda just drops you into the deep end and is like, good luck, kid! There are a lot of mechanics to digest in this game, and it's easy to make mistakes from lack of experience. But if you're worried about botching your playthrough, then fear not, I've got you covered. Because in this video, we're going to explore 10 tips and things I wish I knew before playing Persona 3 Reload.
This is our 10. Here are the rules.
Number 1. Work at Chagall Cafe. One of the best uses of your time in the early game is to pick up a part-time job at the coffee shop at the mall. You can work here in the evenings on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and this is a great way to earn money as well as boost your social stats. Working at the cafe boosts your charm and courage by 1 point and earns around 3,500 yen, stacking up to about 10k per week. Generally, I would focus on exploring Tartarus towards the end of the week and working at the cafe Monday through Wednesday to maximize the amount of money I could earn. This is super important because you'll need that cash to buy better equipment for your characters to tackle harder enemies as you progress through the Tartarus dungeon. Number 2. How to get Twilight Fragments. These shiny objects are an incredibly valuable and scarce resource in Persona 3 Reload. You can use Twilight Fragments to open up locked chests in Tartarus or activate pedestals that will heal your entire party. I do not recommend wasting your precious fragments on the healing pedestals unless you are really desperate, because you could miss out on some incredibly valuable loot as you climb Tartarus. You can find Twilight Fragments scattered throughout the real world, so you should definitely explore all the maps and pick up every shiny you can. You will also receive fragments from Elizabeth at the Velvet Room whenever you rank up your social links, so don't forget to check in with her on a regular basis. Elizabeth also has a series of requests for you to complete, and I definitely recommend completing as many of these as you can because the rewards are really valuable. Number 3. Conserve stamina replenishing items. As you're exploring Tartarus and spamming Persona abilities, you may be tempted to top off your SP with items from your inventory. But hold the phone, you don't want to waste these items willy-nilly, because SP replenishing items are relatively hard to come by. Unlike healing items, which can be bought from the pharmacy, stamina replenishers are not sold at any vendors, at least not the ones which bring back more than like 10 SP. Unless I'm really pressed for time, I will usually end a Tartarus dungeon run whenever I run out of stamina. That way I can save my SP boosters for harder boss fights and encounters where I really need them. Eventually you will unlock the rooftop garden, which allows you to grow stamina refill consumables, but you definitely want to keep an eye on your inventory and save those items for a time when you really need to use them. Number 4. Hang out with social links during the day and raise social stats at night. If you're looking for some pointers on how to organize your schedule, then this is a good rule of thumb. Most social links are only available in the afternoon time slot, especially in the early game. So you want to prioritize chilling with the homies over other activities like studying or hitting up the game shop. At night, whenever you're not exploring Tartarus, this is a good time to focus on raising those social stats. Some good options are the Chagall Cafe, which double dips on courage and charm. Another good one is Wakatsu Kitchen, which grants 2 points in academics. Later, once you have more money, you can raise academics 3 points at a time by donating 10k at the shrine. Playing games and using computer software at the dorm are also good ways to build social stats. Number 5. Always have a persona with the same type as social links. One big mistake a lot of new Persona players make is spending time with social links or confidants when they don't have a matching persona in their inventory. Doing this will cause you to miss out on a huge bonus to building up the relationship. So in general, it's best to focus on hanging out with social links where you already have a persona. This is much easier said than done, especially in the early game, so don't stress out about having a matching persona literally every single time, but you definitely want to do it as much as possible. You'll have ample time to work on most of these relationships, so if you don't have a matching persona at the moment, you can focus on other social links in the meantime and come back to them later. Number 6. Don't be afraid to fuse personas you love for better ones. You might find yourself getting attached to that cute little Jack Frost persona or other awesome personas in your inventory, but if you skip out on fusing personas, you may start falling behind in power as the game goes on. So don't be afraid to clean house every once in a while and fuse some personas together to get the strongest ones you can manage. You can also farm stronger personas in Tartarus as you progress and release older ones to make space for their replacements. And if you're worried about missing out on a particular elemental skills, be sure to farm skill cards as well whenever you unlock a card shuffle post-battle. Number 7. Take advantage of weakness breaks and shifting. The general flow of combat in Persona 3 Reload is all about targeting enemy weaknesses to extend your turn as long as possible. Every time you break an enemy's elemental weakness, you'll gain an additional action where you can either attack again or shift to another companion. You'll definitely want to take advantage of these mechanics as much as possible because understanding this combat flow is essential for success in Persona. Your first 3 companions have elemental coverage for fire, wind, and lightning, so where possible, you'll want to use your main character to break ice and light weaknesses. There are some enemies which have no elemental weaknesses, so don't sleep on status ailments like dizzy or confusion, as those can also prevent your opponent from taking their turn. Number 8. Dead squadmates don't gain XP. If Junpei gets one-shot by a tanky enemy, be sure to revive him before the end of the battle if possible. Otherwise, he won't keep up with the rest of your homies in the XP category. Number 9. When to buy new gear. After working a long shift at the cafe, you may be tempted to blow all your wages gearing out your whole squad. But don't be too hasty, otherwise you may end up wasting money or missing out on good deals. In general, I recommend waiting to upgrade all your equipment until you're starting to really struggle in combat. As you explore Tartarus, you will naturally find better weapons and armor in some of the locked chests. Also, the police station occasionally runs discount days, but if you already shot your whole wad on a new set of armor in advance, then you won't be able to take advantage of these discounts because you'll be a broke boy.
If you're a broke boy, just say so.
Operating in this fashion will allow you to get more out of your resources, which is particularly important in the early game. Number 10. Trust the process. This last tip is really about the main story. Persona 3 Reload has an incredibly slow start, and you may be wondering what the hell this is all building towards. It takes months of in-game time for the plot to really start revealing itself, so if you're feeling a bit lost, just trust the process and stick with it, because eventually you'll be rewarded for your patience. And at the end of the day, a bonus tip is to just have fun with the game. Persona 3 Reload shouldn't be a stressful experience. It's okay not to min-max the whole thing, unless min-maxing is fun for you. You will make mistakes along the way. You'll answer test questions wrong. You'll miss out on an item here and there. You may even lose a battle or two, and that's totally fine. This isn't the type of game where you can completely ruin an entire playthrough by not building your characters right or anything like that, so just be chill, man. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to Big Dan Gaming for more RPG videos. Big shout out to all the channel members for supporting my content. Until next time, this has been Big Dan. I should go.